So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. And now, for the review of the day. I got another review from Martin Bozak on the Certified Listing Agent course on Rebus University. This is great content. It provides me, a new agent, what to say and do during a listing appointment and how to maintain control of that appointment. 5 stars, Martin Bozak. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast, so give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation. I got a first here for you today. I do not think I have ever had a home inspector on the show, and I normally wouldn't, but this guy is getting a lot of press, and he's becoming kind of famous for something he's put into action out in Charlotte, North Carolina. Look, I don't got any better way to introduce the dude, but just tell you that I got Inspector Crazy Pants on the show today. That sounds ridiculous, but Inspector Crazy Pants, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Well, thank you for having me, Pat. I got that name for I wear crazy pants marketing, just try to be remembered and embarrass my kids. You know, it's a win-win.
So, stand up real quick. I know a lot of people aren't going to see this; they're going to hear it. But we are on iTunes video now, and we are all over YouTube, and a lot of people are watching. What the hell is that, dude? You got,
let me back up.
He's got some blue pants. He's got a white belt, which I haven't seen since my great-grandfather.
The white shoes, the cousin Eddie's shoes.
White shoes. Jeez, look at them things.
Yeah, you gotta work hard to get those.
Yeah, I bet you go to a you go to like a retro store for that?
Yeah, I had to get them online, and it was hard to find a white belt. The first time I just I stopped at Walmart and got a brown belt and got some white spray paint and painted it, but it didn't stay on too long, so I had to order it online.
Wow. Inspector Crazy Pants. Anyways, today we got some good stuff. And what's your real name? And tell everybody about yourself.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Pat. My name is Preston Sandlin, and I own Home Inspection Carolina in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have about 25 home inspectors. We do about around 8,000 inspections a year. Do a lot of the top teams around here, a lot of the, one man or one woman, one person, let me say, agents as well. And I just sponsored a class and talking to Pat. Thank you for having me.
Hey, good to be here. Okay, so that's awesome, dude. 8,000 inspections a year. So you guys are busy. All right, so let's talk about some nitty gritty, because everybody that listens to this show, they're like, this is great. I know what a home inspection is, but what can I learn from this? So first thing I want to talk to you about is tell me about this program that your company is doing that it is keeping deals from falling through. And I think that you basically nailed it at the beginning of the show. You said, Pat, there's 2 reasons essentially, for the most part, that deals fall through once the contract is signed. Number 1 is an under appraisal, and number 2 is a home inspection gone bad. And of course, we can't talk about appraisals today, but we can talk about inspections. So tell me, talk to me about that and tell me what you've done to deal with that half of the population of deals going bad in the Carolinas.
Well, thanks, Pat, and thank you. You're exactly correct. In the pre-show, we were talking about that, and I talk to agents all the time, and they say, it's either appraisals or inspectors. Those dang deal-killing home inspectors, And they laugh because they know I'm a home inspector. And I always say, well, what I've realized is it really the home inspector? And there are some you want to pound in the head, and they probably deserve it, but not all. Is it really the home inspection or when it was done? Think about that for a second. I call it BI and AI when you have to negotiate the price. You have to negotiate it before inspection and after inspection. So we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about that. Let's say a house is, you're asking $250 and they offer $240, you go back and forth, it goes to $245, right? Sellers come down as far as they can go, buyers come up as high as they can go. Then you have the inspection and there's $5,000 worth of damage. Neither one of them want to do anything, right? Deal goes south. Well, think about that. If we could have had that inspection prior to putting the house on the market, a pre-listing inspection, then we would have found out about that $5,000 damage early. He probably could have got multiple estimates, maybe got it done for $3. Maybe he could ask $252 now because that's a pre-inspected home, and he could use that inspection report as a marketing tool. Now, there's some back-end benefits to that, and we'll get into that. But do you want me to go into?
Yes, I do, because I think it's different. Because people have heard already about pre-inspections, and a lot of agents will say, hey, this is what we should do. We should do the pre-inspection. I know the concern always is that, oh, well, I don't want my seller to pay $500 or $300 or whatever it costs to do the inspection when the buyer pays it.
Right.
Which sounds kind of ridiculous if that's one of the major reasons why deals fall through. But tell me about the solution you guys have come up with, how it works, and what's going on with it.
Right. Well, the pre-inspection has been around for a while, and probably a lot of your listeners know the benefits, but it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. You go in, you're trying to get the listing, and oh, by the way, I want you to pay $500 for this guy to come call you baby ugly. And it's a little bit like going to a bar and trying to.
The guy comes in behind, just like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
So you're reluctant, first of all, to do it. But obviously everybody wishes that they did as soon as their house deal falls through on home inspection. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a little, it's like meeting a girl at the bar, you don't go up and say, hey, I live in my mom's basement and, I got gout and, hey, you want to go out? You're leading off with your faults. It's a little bit, everybody wants to lead off. But what if we could offset that cost? Maybe even they can make a profit, but no, I'm not counting on that, just to offset the cost. But mainly to salvage, keep that deal from going south on the back end, but we could offset the cost. Even Gary Keller talks about bulletproofing the deal in Shift, in that bulletproof section there. So what we've done with this platform, inspectedhouses.com, we could do the inspection for you, Pat. Your seller would pay us. We would upload the report. Now, it doesn't go live until they get an email and they push a button for it to go live. Now, when it goes live, it's for sale for $19. That $19, each time it's downloaded, goes back to the seller to help recoup their cost. They also have a choice when they upload it that if they want to sign up for Porch, which is a national company, they can get $500 towards the cost of any repairs. So what we can do is also.
Wait a minute, you got to slow that down. What is Porch?
Porch is a company, you can look it up. They're hooked in with, they do repairs, small things. They do a lot with Lowe's. But what they will do is give you $500 in value towards the cost of your repairs. So what I'm trying to do basically is offset that cost two ways. By giving you value, give your seller value, and each time the report is sold, they get that money back. So we're trying to offset that cost and prevent the deal from going south on that back end.
I like that. And at the end of the day, if this house is, within your top 5, $19 is chump change if you're a buyer. The agent probably could pay that for you. And, and if you don't buy it, it could educate you about what a home inspection looks like. You know what
Right.
I mean? I remember before I bought my first real estate investment deal, I would just look at investments, just not to buy them, but just to learn. And I still do it today, just to learn. And it's the same thing as a buyer. If you're looking at 2 or 3 of these reports before you actually get one of your own, you're not going to be as freaked out as a buyer.
Right.
When it shows you that you need to add sod on the outside of the house to get the water to go away from the your foundation, you're going to be like, oh, they put that on everyone.
Right. Well, and it also makes it less risk for the potential buyer because they don't lose their due diligence. Think about it. It's kind of backwards if you think about it. Even if you buy a car these days online, you can get that Carfax report, and I bought my Jeep that way. I dropped, and I think it's like $10 a report. You get a package of them, and we're considering doing that. But you find out ahead of time. And our dog, I heard your dog died too, and I apologize. I mean, I know that's rough. We got a new puppy. Even when you buy a puppy, it's like pre-inspected by the vet. We got that report before we even bought it. So I'm thinking, the way we've been doing the inspections is kind of backwards. We really should inspect it on the front end and find out all those potential problems, get those things worked out. And, it will just make it easier on everybody, easier on repair negotiations, and you got more time, take some of the drama out of the real estate.
It would relieve a lot of stress on both sides, and it's a way to get leads. Now, let me paint this picture here. So you guys have these signs that say, this house has been inspected, right? Report here at inspectedhouses.com. The agents can put it in their ads. They put it on the internet banners, right, to make their house stronger than the competitors. And people go in there and download these report, and boom, suddenly you got a lead, right? I mean, you're like, who's looking at the report.
That's correct. Yeah. So when it gets uploaded, each realtor, each home inspector will have a text code in the realtor. And so when the buyer downloads that report, actually, even if they call, we capture the lead, and then it goes to the realtor. This person just downloaded the report. Now, if they download the report, it asks them, are they working with a realtor? Because we want to give them that information. But even if they text, like as you said, the sign will say in the yard, this house has been pre-inspected, text this code to this number. Number always stays the same. The code's different for each house. You call them up. Hey, I saw you just downloaded my report on my listing there. Be helpful. I know all about the amenities, the schools. How can I help you? And, if they're working with a realtor or not. Even if they are working with a realtor, call that realtor and say, hey, how can I help us sell that house? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. And, and the seller knows, hey, 2 people downloaded your report this week. You know what I mean? That means they're serious. Hey guys, as you know, my book, 6 Steps to 7 Figures, has been a New York Times bestseller and a USA Today bestseller with over 30,000 copies sold to real estate agents and real estate investors alike. And listen, I have decided to do something really special here. I am going to give away 200 copies. Yes, I'm going to give away 200 copies that I have. And all you need to do to get one is to go to free6stepsbook.com. That's free6stepsbook.com, all spelled out, SIX, stepsbook.com. And you can fill out a form, and all you need to do is pay the shipping and handling, and I'm going to send you that book absolutely free. Or simply text the word PAT to 444-999. My goal is for you to have this book if you haven't read it yet. An absolute must for any real estate agent's library. 6 Steps to 7 Figures, a real estate professional's guide to building wealth and creating your destiny. Just go to free6stepsbook.com and fill out the form, and I will send it to you absolutely free. Or simply text the word PAT to 444-999. That's PAT to 444-999. Now, what do you say to sellers, or what do agents say to sellers? They'll be like, I don't want all my private business, i.e., nail pops and all these things, because, people are so sensitive. Yeah. Unwarranted, in my opinion, but they're so sensitive. It's like I try to, I want to bring people in my house. Oh, no, my wife's like, no, you can't bring them over, we got, the bed isn't made, or this isn't done, or whatever. And I'm like, they don't care, And it's like, I think people are like that about their houses too. They're like, oh, the nail pops, and the fact that we have a rat trap in the garage. I mean, they don't want that out there. So how do you overcome that?
Well, there's 2 answers to that question. The first one is it's going to come out anyway. I mean, on the back end, anything that you have. But I understand what you're saying. What you could do is get the initial report and fix those items, and we could do a reinspection, and you can load up that report. I would recommend having them both on there, the one you had before and the one afterwards. So it's the ultimate gesture of transparency. If I'm a buyer, out-of-state buyer, and I'm looking at 3 houses, one's been pre-inspected, everything else being equal, that's less risk to me, less chance that I'm going to lose my due diligence there.
And you could even put in the notes or whatever in the MLS or ad or whatever that, all repairs have been done, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could even, if you can convert it to a digital, scan it or whatever, you can load all that up, and that can all be in the download that they get if you'd like. So,
you guys are doing 8,000, which is phenomenal, by the way, dude. Awesome business. Inspections a year. Like, what's the weirdest thing? Here's an odd question. What's the weirdest thing that's happened at an inspection?
All right, is this a G-rated show, or I don't know?
Oh, you can. Hey, man, this is not regulated. You can do whatever you want. Trust me, we've had some.
Well, I found all kinds of things. Teenage liquor bottles and all that stuff. I think when I was younger, I've been doing this about 20 years. Probably about 18 years ago, I was inspecting this house. I was a lot younger, and I was crawling around the crawl space, and I mean, everybody was there. Buyer, seller, the uncle who did heating and air 10 years ago. Everybody. And I'm crawling around, and I see like what looks like hair and some flesh. And I'm thinking, oh, gosh, it's a dead body over there. Well, not really. It was one of those inflatable. So,
sex dolls, right?
Yes, I pulled it out. Now, if I saw that, I would leave it there. But I was younger then.
You wouldn't touch it. Yeah.
I pulled it out, and I was like, somebody's gonna miss her, But all kinds of stuff. I mean. I have sellers follow me around. You asked me this earlier, like what not to do during an inspection.
I want to know that. Like, how do agents screw up their own deals? Like, a lot of agents are their own enemy. So, give us some advice. Like, what should an agent unequivocally not do, right? To make the deal,
Okay, cool. I'll answer that in 2 parts: what not to do and what to do. If that's okay. I hope I'm not hogging up. Don't follow them around. Do not follow them around. You're going to get a worse inspection. You're going to get them off track. You just don't want to do that. What you do?
All buyers show up and follow you around. Isn't that the protocol? What do you want them to do? Sit on their phones in the family room? I mean, at what points? It's got to be at some point that you want them with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I tell them is I'm going to get with them at the end and go over all the pictures and everything that I find. I usually take graph paper and a ruler, tape measure, thank you, and tell them, why don't you go around and get measurements of the room, because you only got so many times in here, and you're going to wonder later, is that china cabinet going to fit, whatever, that sort of thing. And I'll get with them at the end. If they have any special concerns, tell me about it, or if you see something particular, yeah, I'll go look at it. But if you follow me around, you're going to get off track. I had a seller follow me around everywhere I went. And I'm like, I couldn't shake him. I mean, I went in the crawl space. I even went to the bathroom. I mean, the guy was just like on glue. So I was like, I got to make conversation with this guy. And I said, it was an old house, a 100-year-old house. I said, so you guys got any ghosts? And he didn't say anything. So then I said, we don't put ghosts in the report, right? He still didn't say anything. So finally I said, in some cases they say ghosts make the house worth more money. He said, well, in that case I have 5. True story.
Womp, womp, womp.
I know, that was bad, but it's a true story.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. And and a deal killer too, right? There's a lot of people nowadays, would be like, I'm out. Especially certain nationalities would be like, man, we are out of here quick and quick.
I hear you. The big thing I would do, though, Pat, the best thing a real estate agent can do is prepare your buyer or seller for what's coming. Just set expectations. This home inspector is going to find some stuff. That's their job. And if you really divide it out, and there's going to be, don't get, the size of the report doesn't necessarily mean how bad the house is. There's a lot of informational stuff in there, like where the cutoffs are, where the breaker box is. what type of dryer thing you have. Don't get caught up in that. It's just a lot of information. It's kind of like an owner's manual for your house. Now, within that, there are going to be some things we're going to look at, but don't be overwhelmed and then cut through it. Like, what's the major issues here? And the rest is, maybe cosmetic, small items. Every house is going to have that. I always say, everything's negotiable, but treat it like a buffet. If you go to the buffet, go for the shrimp or the high dollar items, or safety issues. But leave the potatoes and the rice alone, because, if this is a seller's market, that's something you don't want to get in a fight about,
That's interesting, right? And that every agent should have that conversation, use that exact analogy. Listen, this is a buffet. If you eat everything on the buffet, you're going to get sick. You know what I mean? And the seller's going to be sick because you're asking them to, you're hurting their feelings by asking them to do everything. What you need to do is you need to focus on the lobster, the shrimp, and the steak.
Right.
That's it. And have that conversation ahead of time, right?
Right.
Focus on the protein, right? Focus on or the salad. You know what I mean? Focus on the things that are important, not that aren't important. So, so what else do agents do to screw up their own deals?
I think, sometimes if it's a little too kind of puffery or something like that, it can come across a little ingenuous. And probably talk to the inspector before, and just kind of, if they can, obviously we want to do right by our client. We always want to do right by our client. But, clients have certain personalities, and so do inspectors. And it's good to know that ahead of time. And if they have a hot spot, like, this buyer had a really bad deal with termites at their old house. They are very sensitive to that. It's very good for an inspector to know that. I also want to know, I don't know if every inspector does this, but I want to know what the person does for a living, because that kind of has to do with the way I'm going to talk to them. If they're an engineer, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right. You're kind of figuring out their personality style based on their occupation, which is a good way to do it. And then reacting to that. And I love the question about, tell me about your last house that you have inspected. So agents should be talking to their buyers about that and being like, okay, so tell me about home inspections you've had in the past or issues that you've had at home inspections. And then if they bring that up, then it's a great idea to take 5 minutes and talk to the home inspection ahead of time to talk about that and to talk about what the people are like and concerned about, so that they feel so much better, at the inspection.
Right. And, I also want to know where they're from. If I know they're moving from California, they might ask about earthquake strap, or something like that, which is really not an issue here in the Carolinas. But, it helps. The more intel that we all have, I think the better we can handle our clients.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you can think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Yeah. So tell me about this bold fiasco that you had.
Well, I wear the crazy pants for marketing. If I can be remembered and embarrass my kids, that's a win-win. So, I try to get up in front of the people. They know me as Crazy Pants. I tried to be the house whisperer but that domain was $10,000, but Inspector Crazy Pants was $10. So that's what I wanted.
Wait a minute. So, you cut out there. Say it again.
Well, I wanted to do something to get a handle or whatever way back, and I was going to be the house whisperer, and I went on GoDaddy, and that domain was 10 grand. Inspector Crazy Pants was $10. So that's what I went with. But, so, I'm sponsoring a bold lunch, and I know all the Keller Williams agents out there are familiar with it. Probably a lot of other agents. It's like an 8-week course, I think, that's really,
right. Yeah.
It's good. It's good for all agents.
We've got a couple bold instructors here. It's a course for Keller Williams agent, similar to Floyd Wickman Sweat Hogs, where they kind of just put you in a room and have you prospect and have you assertively get business. It works. It works real well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I took it as a home inspector. They let me take it, and it was awesome. But this particular one, I sponsored the lunch. And Pat Manusco, he was the instructor on this one. So I go in there, and I'm wearing my crazy flower pants, and Pat loved them. I went up and did my thing, and he's like, man, those pants are awesome. And he's about the same size I am. He said, if I gave $100 to your favorite charity, could you get me a pair of pants like that? Because I got a golf tournament next weekend that I want to go to. And I'm thinking, right, I got my gym shorts in the car. So I didn't have another inspection that day. So I go back and I switch into my gym shorts. I bring the pants back to Pat. So he puts the pants on and wears them for the second half of the class. And everybody loves it, right? They're taking pictures of it and everything. And it's pretty fun. He gave me a lot of PR. But this is the best part. I get back in the car because people were putting it all over Facebook and all. And my wife's at home, right? She's texting me all over the place. She's like, Preston, why is there another man wearing your pants? And please tell me you have some pants on right now. But I got a lot of mileage out of that. That was cool. Pat's a cool guy.
I bet. And so your whole wardrobe is these crazy pants. I mean, agents out there could go agent crazy pants. I mean, you gotta rep, right? You gotta wear them all the time. But that's awesome, dude. So, all right. So can people in other states, tap into this, way to recoup the cost of the home inspection, or is this just in North Carolina?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for asking, Pat. It is, it's for everybody. Inspectedhouses.com. You can go on there and sign up as a realtor. There is, if they want to get involved, there is a monthly cost. It's $49 because of the text. The text does cost money and all that. But the idea is, to get leads off your own listing. I know all the technology out there, and I feel a little like, it's like an open house. I know when I talk to realtors, they have an open house to make the seller happy, but also to get buyers. And it's kind of like having an open house on your listing 24/7. Anybody checks to get that report, you get that lead. You could also, the platform's set up where you don't even have to do a pre-inspection. You could just put your listing on there. If your home inspector is willing to offer like a discount or a free radon, we have a section on the site just for listings, and you can load up pictures and things like that. But lead capture and follow-up, it has a CRM element to it too, where you could do a drip campaign, follow-up 1 day, 3 day, 5 days, however you want to set it up.
I love it. I think it's going to take off, man, because as an agent, I would do a couple of things. First of all, I would be ready. I would have an account set up and be ready. So if I'm walking through a house with these buyers and they're like, I like this house, or showing any sort of interest, I would just pull that shit up on my phone and be like, boom, here, and email it. I just emailed you the inspection and pay for it myself, right? It's $19. Come on. And then they'd be like, wow. And immediately there's a sense of reciprocity where they feel like, wow, you gave them $19. You gave them this report. You paid for this report. So they're going to stick with you as an agent, hopefully. Right.
Right.
On a listing presentation, the same thing. Look, I pay for this. They don't have to know it's $49. I pay for a service that no other agents in this market are paying for right now, that are doing, where we can have this, your house inspected and you'll get paid back. As a matter of fact, you can even go, I'll pay for the inspection and then you get paid back yourself, or through the seller, whatever you want to do it. But but I think it's great. I mean, I think it works both ways. You know, I would use it all day long.
Yeah, I have seen, and thank you, Pat. I have seen some sellers, listing agents, what they'll do, and we do pre-inspections now, but this part of it's relatively new. I just thought it was a good way to take advantage of technology, get some leads, and offset the cost. I know some agents, what they will do, and I'm not advocating this, I'm just saying what I've seen, is they'll pay for the pre-inspection, right? And what they'll do is the seller will pay them back, or let me see if I got this right, but out of closing. Or no, the seller pays for it, and the agent pays for it out of closing.
The cost, yeah.
Right. So basically the agent pays for it, but out of closing, so that way you've got to kind of stick with them a little bit, you know. But obviously,
right. So it's free essentially to the seller until closing. And you know, here's the thing, guys. You know, the reality of it is, you know, and I love Preston's analogy of BI and AI, right? Before inspection and after inspection. So, you know, a lot of times when houses are negotiated, both parties are at their wits' end, right?
Yeah.
A good agent will tell them, you know, will tell a seller, right? Or put in a net sheet for a seller, $1,000 home inspection repairs. You know what I mean? We'll work it in, or tell a seller, don't, you know, negotiate to the point of no return. I want you to buffer back $1,000. I want you to save $1,000 on the side and then give it to the buyer for the home inspection item. But most agents don't do that, right? Most agents, you know, don't spend the time to do that. And so what happens is, and I know personally, I've probably had, you know, in the course of my career, definitely over 100 deals fall apart on a home inspection. It's not an odd occurrence. So, you know, to eliminate that is just massive, because they just go, you know, buyers and sellers just negotiate to the point of no return, where they got like 1 cent left each. And they're like, that's the farthest I'm giving him. And then they're like, that's the most she's getting, you know, and then
she's getting a steal as it is.
You're in trouble. Right? I mean, you're
right.
in trouble because of the way you negotiated that agent. So, or not, or that's just how everything gets negotiated. It's okay. But if it's pre-inspected, then you can do that. You can go to the last penny, you know. So anyways, I like this. So, Preston, here's the deal. As you know, every guest that comes on our show brings a free gift. And what we do with this free gift, it's pretty cool. We put it in a what we call an agent success toolbox. And basically agents could go online, get this toolbox, and it will have your free gift. It will have gifts of all of our other guests. And there's just like tons of PDFs and things they could download and like immediately use in their business today. And we put that on hibandigital.com/toolbox. And we also put it up. There's a way to get it by text if you just text the word toolbox to 444-999. But if you don't want all the other things and you just want Preston's free gift, I'm going to tell you where to get that direct. But you tell me what it is first.
Okay, well, thanks, Pat. It's a seller's inspection checklist. So I made this, it's basically what the home inspector is going to be looking for. So if you give this to your seller, and if they, you know, I got the idea with my daughter. You know, I was helping her study for a test one night, and she says, isn't a home inspection kind of like a test for the house? And I said, well, yeah, honey, it is. And she said, do they know what to study for? And I was like, no, but they need to. So I made a checklist. So go have your sellers go through this checklist, not the night before. Start out about a week before. And this is what's going to be on the test, on the inspection. And I guarantee you your results will be a lot better. If you have
I think that's smart too, dude. I mean, I think that's brilliant because, right? I mean, you know, you're telling them, hey, go do this, go check the batteries, go, you know, replace your filter, you know, all these simple things. so they know what's on the test. I love it. So, all right. So I'm going to put that, guys, and this is going to be very easy if you're driving down the road. It's going to be on hibandigital.com/crazypants, hibandigital.com/crazypants. Listen, Preston, you know, I got lots of friends up in Charlotte. I'm always headed up that way. So definitely if I'm in the area, we'll have to get together. I'd love to see your business. I'd love to learn how you know, grew to 8,000 inspections a year in such a short time. And hopefully we can stay in touch.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Estate Rockstars. If this free content is giving you a ton of value, I want to ask a small favor in return. I need you to pull out your pointing finger and hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit subscribe, please. The more subscribers that we get on Real Estate Rockstars, the better guests are attracted to the shows. We'll get more guests from the top companies, from the top teams, and even more celebrity guests like Robert Kiyosaki and Barbara Corcoran. Also, if you're not a member of our free Facebook group, go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio right on Facebook and join the conversation. I'm on there myself on FaceTime Lives, and we have a lot of communications and questions about the show, and I'd love to see you there. And it's free. People ask me all the time, where am I on social media? I'm real easy to find. Just type in my name. My IG is I am Pat Hyben. It is blowing up on Instagram, adding tons of subscribers, and I'm on there probably twice a day. So definitely follow me on Instagram, as well as everywhere else. Thanks again for listening, and keep rocking.